Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to the mechanics series. In today's video, we'll be covering how to do the MAKTUF reset. If you guys wouldn't mind dropping a quick like and subscribe, it really helps the channel out, it really helps me, I really appreciate it. But without further ado, let's get into how to do the MAKTUF reset. Alright, so I found myself here in free play. I wanted to give you guys a couple of disclaimers before I get into this. The first one being, this is not a flip reset tutorial. So if you guys were looking into this tutorial thinking that maybe it would be teaching how to do flip reset for whatever reason, this is not that tutorial, but it is really important though that you learn how to flip reset so that you can actually get the MAKTUF. So if you guys need any help with your flip resets, I'll put a card up there in the top right and that'll show you how to get your flip reset the right way. And then my second disclaimer is that I'm not super good at this mechanic, guys. I've only just basically learned it a few days ago. So don't expect me to be able to teach you guys how to do like double MAKTUFs or triple MAKTUFs, or even, you know, the tutorial's probably not going to cover simple things like, okay, well, once I get the reset, you know, what do I do with it? I mean, maybe I'll show you like an example of that, but you know, for the most part though, there's going to be no double MAKTUFs in this tutorial. I'm just going to show you guys how to get one clean MAKTUF in my opinion. So the way you guys want to approach this mechanic is that you want to treat it kind of like a double reset setup. And if you guys are confused about double resets or just how, or you know, the process of getting 2 resets in a row, kind of like I just did, the MAKTUF, really all it is just another way of getting your second reset. So once you have gone past getting your first reset, which again, I'll link the video and down in the description for you guys, so you know, do that. You know, this is just another way for you guys to get a second reset. And it just looks a little bit different than how I normally do it, which is just like this, the barrel version. Right, so you barrel roll into the ball. So instead of doing that, we're going to do a MAKTUF, which looks, I guess, a bit cooler, I suppose. And, you know, it's just another way, if you feel, to add to your game how you can get another reset. Unfortunately, missed that one there, but you guys get what I'm saying. Now, even though both are basically double resets, the setup is a little different. Like, they're pretty much the same. Like I'll show you guys what I mean. But when I go for my normal resets, or like my normal double resets, I'm trying to get the reset off to the left side of the ball. Like a bit like this, so I can rotate back into it and flip into it. And for the purpose of the MAKTUF, it's very similar. I just think that the places that I get the reset on the ball are just a little bit different. Like, I feel like I'm not getting the reset in the exact same places that I'm getting, you know, the resets if I were doing a MAKTUF. So if I get a reset for a double barrel roll like this, it's going to be different than if I go for a MAKTUF reset, which maybe looks something like this. So boom, soft touch, and then, you know, try and MAKTUF into it. So the first thing I want to look at here for the MAKTUF reset, guys, is we're just going to look at the motion itself. So before we start doing anything on the ball, let's take a look at it off the ball. So I'm going to go up here. Let's see. Bang. So when we get a reset, our car is facing us, the bottom side anyways. And when you get a reset, you're going to do something like this, like that, and then you're gonna come back in forward, right? Now, in this tutorial, I'm gonna be using arrow left. If anyone out there in the comments knows how to do a MAKTUF using arrow right, just let me know. But for this tutorial, we're gonna be using arrow left, so it's gonna look something like this: bang, and then bang. So if I were to try to use arrow right and do the same thing, I can't really quite get it. So for this tutorial, it's gonna be arrow left. So as I was saying, guys, once you start tilting forward out of your reset, almost immediately you're going to press your L1 button, or whatever your arrow left button is, and then you're going to throw your stick to the top left. So look, so as soon as you finish your reset, bang, and you start tilting up, you're gonna hold top left like this. So look, it's gonna look something like that on the stick. See that? Just perfectly top left of the stick. Alright, and then after about like a second of doing that, maybe even just half a second of pushing your stick. So look, again, it's really important that you guys put your stick and hold L1 at the left at the same time. So look, bang, bang, bang. You see how I flick my L1 and my stick at the same time? So look, I'm gonna turn and then flick, flick, flick. See? So I'm gonna make sure that I am pushing the stick to the top left and pressing my arrow button at the same time. See that? So as soon as it goes up there, we're pressing L1. Bang, bang, bang. Alright, and then once we turn about this much, we're going to do like some kind of backflip cancel. So we're going to look again. So once you get to about here, backflip. Or quarter flip, or half flip, or whatever that we want to call it. But it looks something like that. But essentially what you're doing is you're going from top left, and then when you flip, you're going to go bottom right, and then back to top left again. So look, bang, bang. Do it one more time for you guys. Bang, bang. And then if I'm going forward like this, just look like that. Bang, bang. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a couple examples here in slow motion so that I can show you guys the stick movement a little bit better. So I just want to emphasize here, guys, you guys really want to like make sure that you're really committing to holding the L1 button and the stick on the top left. Because, well, I'm assuming some people might make a mistake of is they'll just like hold it for a second and then they'll just stop. But it's actually more important, depending on the situation, that you hold it for longer. So bang, and then bang. See that? Do it one more time. So we're going to really hold that for a little bit longer than we normally would. So, I mean, depending, again, there's a lot of things that depend. So if there's like less distance between you and the ball, then you might only need to go this far to get a reset, right? But if there's more distance between you and the ball, then you're going to need to over arc it a bit more. Or, you know, just hold the button down longer in general before you decide to go for the backflip, because you're trying to time the backflip so that, you know, by the time that the bottom of the car is facing the ball, that the ball will have already hit the bottom side of your car. So that's why I was saying when the ball is very close to you, like maybe like say this example, the ball's really close, you know, you might only need to go a little bit. You might not need to hold it the whole time like this, you know what I mean? And then go for it. It's literally just dependent on how far away that ball is. So just for the purposes of this tutorial, guys, I'm gonna move over here to the wall to air dribble training pack so that everyone can follow along easier. Again, if you guys need anything, I'll be putting everything in the description. So now that I've covered how to do the MAKTUF off the ball, now I'm gonna show you guys how to do the MAKTUF on ball. So when I'm going for the reset, guys, I'm going to be aiming for the left side of the ball, and I'm gonna be using our left like I've been showing you guys. So it's gonna look something like that, reset, and then bang. So I'm going to show you guys a good example of what a MAKTUF I think should look like, and then I'll show you guys a couple of bad examples and why they're bad. Here we go. First example, this is the good example. Here are a couple of bad examples of how to get this reset. Number one is just like if you're going over the ball, like I guess in these training packs like this one, if you're just going over it like this and trying to get the reset, that's not going to work. So just make sure again that you're nice and underneath the ball when you are getting your resets, because then you'll actually have a proper chance of being able to rotate on the ball properly. Because again, if you're up here over the ball and get the reset, well, that's just not going to work, is it? Let's say example number two of not how to do this is just like if you get the reset basically where you're trying to air roll before you touch the ball almost. Like I know some people, even me when I'm doing this, I'll like start air rolling like before I've even touched the ball, I guess, in a way. Like maybe you'll get to here, and then as soon as you get the ball, you just immediately start doing it, which is not like necessarily wrong to just like start doing it right away. Sometimes that is the right thing to do, but there's a couple times where your car's just facing all the way down. Let's see, like that, so your nose is pointed towards the floor like that. Do it one more time here, so boop, and then your nose is all the way pointed down, and you're doing this motion. You're basically turboing or torpedoing down to the floor like this. See that? So boom, and then here, and then torpedoing to the ground. We don't want that, right? So because if you torpedo like this and then you try and do it, you're just going to be going towards the floor the whole time, and you're not going to really have a good angle to get the reset from. And let's say that third mistake is if you are getting the reset like very heavy. So that one I didn't get it very heavy, but if you're getting like, you know, like these big resets like this, they're gonna be, in my opinion, a little bit harder to get. So if you can just like soften up how you're getting the reset, kind of like that, that'd be a lot better than if you do it like this, where it's like, you know, you really just launch off the ball, if that kind of makes sense. Like just really, you know, like it could work, depends on how you do it. But for the most part, the closer you are, the less bounce you bounce off the ball, you know what I mean? You'll have a better chance of getting it. And then, you know, just one more mistake. Mistake number 4 is probably just like not, again, like I was saying before, not really committing to holding your arrow left button and your stick all the way to the top left. Because again, in some of these examples, right, if I don't fully commit to that, you know, that full rotation, or, you know, just really going for it on the, you know, whatever I want to call this, where you just do that, right? You know, you're not going to really get it, because, you know, your car needs to be able to go all the way through the animation. Because if you cut it halfway through, like, more than half the time your reset or the bottom of your car isn't going to, you know, time correctly to be flat and fall with the, you know, the car's center of mass. So once again, this is bad because you're not finishing it or you're not holding it long enough. If you do it this way, this is a little bit better. So boom, boom, and then really, you know, leaning into it. Again, a lot of this stuff is situational. Some of the stuff I'm saying right now might work in some cases or might not work in other cases, but, you know, this is just a general rule of thumb. This is one more thing that I forgot to mention that will probably make getting the reset a lot easier for you guys, and that's just to turn the slightest bit before you get the reset. So you guys are going to go for the reset, and then right before you get it, you're going to just turn a little bit. Like, it's not going to be a lot. It's just going to be a little bit. Like that. See that? We're going to go boom, boom, and then like that. See that? That's what we want. That's going to help you hit your MAKTUF a little bit more often. It's not going to be like the end-all be-all of how you get the mechanic, but it helps a lot because if you turn just that slightest bit before you get the reset, because the MAKTUF is like a very diagonal, like, I don't know why, but the MAKTUF just in general, you know, is very diagonally moving, like, I don't know how to describe it. New word, diagonal movement. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but basically if you turn again right before you get there, you know, it's going to create this diagonal shape or diagonal movement or line, I don't know how to call it, and it's just going to help you line up your MAKTUFs a lot better. So, you know, give it a try. Just do that little turn before you get the MAKTUF. Perfect. Alright, I'm going to go ahead here. I'm going to hit this shot on the other wall, just to show you that as an example. I'm going to hit shots 1 and 2 again, but in slow motion, and hopefully, you know, with the stick movement and all that, that'll give you guys a better visual of how to hit this mechanic on both walls. Alright, you guys, that'll be about it for the tutorial on how to do the MAKTUF. If this was helpful to you guys in any way, please let me know down in the comments. I really like hearing from you guys, and if you guys are having any trouble with the mechanic itself, also please comment as well if you need help, because I understand this is a very difficult mechanic. But anyways, best of luck to you guys on hitting your MAKTUFs, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.